Hi, Desert Winds. Pastor Joel wanted to just give you a quick ministry update, share some things that are going on, and just maybe something from my heart as well over the next few minutes. First of all, thank you for your ongoing faithfulness, generosity, support of the ministry. These are not easy times for anybody, but you are passing the test with flying colors, and I'm just so grateful to you. We are, as a staff, a governing board, for who you are and for how you're helping make things go through this time. When we prepared to bring people back on campus for worship, we really had very little idea what to expect in terms of how many people would come, what service they would be at, all those things. So we launched with our customary 2 services, 8:30, 10:30, and set up an overflow room in the youth center. And I cannot say enough about the work that our tech team, Jim, Nina Bales, Brian Colby, the work that they did to get that set up. It's really, really good, high quality stuff. And in the future, we'll be able to have the video playing in a variety of places in the facility, including the new fellowship center, back in the nursery, all that stuff, because of the work they're doing right now. So 2 weeks in, and we've been looking at the numbers and the not just the numbers of people attending, but also what it takes for us to keep the facility clean and safe and to follow the guidelines that are before us to safely gather. And it's pretty clear right now that we need to come back down to 1 service. And, that's tough. We never like to do that. We'd prefer to run more services than few, but we also recognize that it takes a lot to pull off a service right now, more than what it normally does in terms of all of those aspects of service. So what we're going to do is we are going to move from 2 services. We've been 8:30, 10:30 to 1 9 o'clock service. So 9 o'clock in the morning, and that's going to start this Sunday. It will be live streamed and it will be live, 9 o'clock. Now, if we have more people and we can't fit more in the worship center, we've got the youth center, which facilitates a really good experience and participation. But right now, we think we'll be able to fit everybody into the worship center. And that is until further notice. We are learning really quickly that we don't know what the future holds. And I think we've known that, theologically. Now we're practically figuring that out. So we'll be here 1 service, 9 o'clock starting this Sunday, which, by the way, this Sunday is the first Sunday of the month. And we are going to bring back something that we have not done since we closed our facility because of the virus. And that is communion. Yes, we are going to celebrate the Lord's Supper on Sunday, and I am excited to do that. So what we've done, I want to show you these. This is a pre-made or pre-packaged communion cup. Get real close there, okay? And what you do is on the top, it's got a transparent label that you pull, and you get to the wafer, like so. And then underneath that, you pull the top and you get to the juice. And so on Sunday, we will have elders and deacons with these pre-packaged cups outside the worship center wearing gloves. And as you come by, if you are ready to receive communion, they will hand you a cup. You'll take it with you to your seat. And then when it's time during the service, we'll take communion together. If you are at home, you can, if you'd like, request one of these or for anybody in your family, and we can give that to you. You'll have to come by the facility, and you're probably going to have to do it by Thursday, unless you want to, come by early Sunday morning. But that's kind of we never know what's going on Sunday morning sometimes. So it'd be better to pick them up by Thursday if you can. Just call the church, see if someone's here, and we can give that to you. Just drive by. Or you can have your own elements, bread, grape juice. That might be just the way to go. And we invite you to participate from home. The same requirements of participation apply at home as they do in church. We want you to take communion only if you are trusting Christ with your life. and understand what the gift of the Lord's Supper means. And with your children, we want you to explain it and make sure they understand before they partake. This is a sacred act. It's a means of grace that God's given us to take as a community. And I'm really excited to do that this Sunday. So we hope you'll join us at 9 o'clock in person or online. And again, remember this, we are in phase 2. Phase 1 is online only. Phase 2 is in person and online. And we're saying if you are at all uncomfortable with being out in crowds, if you have health issues, you're over 65, and getting this virus would not be a good thing for you, we want you to stay home. If you're feeling any symptoms, we want you to stay home. So we're not discouraged by low in-person numbers. We realize it is just going to be what that is, probably until the numbers of cases go down and we can get to a point where we can not require the masks. But with the current numbers and trends, it's probably going to be a little while before that happens. And so we're in phase 2 of that. And at least for now, we're going to be at one service. As always, stay tuned to all of our channels and all of our means of communication to know exactly what's going on. Let me just close by sharing something from my heart. I read an article that was sent to me last week, read it early this week, and there were some things in there that really got my attention, and I want to share those with you. First of all, the big takeaway is that a crisis accelerates what already is happening. And we know that culturally, we've seen church attendance declining. We've been pretty stable here at Desert Winds, but we're not immune to that. And we know that those things could happen to us just like they happen all over the country. But what this survey said was that over the past 4 weeks, only about 45% of Christians have participated in worship over the last 4 weeks. Now, whether that's online or in person. And, we know the novelty of online church is worn off. It's not the same. It's difficult for some of you to really connect with. It's not going away. Digital church is here to stay. And in-person church is here to stay as well. But I want to encourage you that in these times, here we go, right, with one of these, in these uncertain times. In these uncertain times, we need certainty more than ever. And certainty is an unchanging God. And if we're not putting our eyes on Him, the eyes of our heart, the eyes of our mind, all of who we are onto Him, we will waver. We will drift. We will struggle in our faith. That in this time, more than ever before, we need to be consistent as we worship, as we participate, as we study the Word of God, as we fellowship with each other. Let me ask you a question. Have you reached out to someone in our church to encourage them this week? If you haven't, let's do it. Have you been in the Word of God? If not, let's get back into it. Have you been participating with our services online or in person? If not, get on our channels, go back and watch them, and get dialed in. There are so many things that we have no control over in this world, in this time. But what we do, how we think, what we expose our lives to, we absolutely do control. And now is the time more than ever to buckle down and consistently and faithfully do the things that God has called us to do. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I just pray that God would continue to bless you and bless Desert Winds in this next chapter. So we will see you either here in the worship center or online, Facebook or our website, dwccav.org, at 9 o'clock this Sunday morning. God bless you.